this background isn't right. No. No.
This is great banter.
There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. And some of you might remember last year, we did this video last year, didn't we? And this year, we are back.
And we're ready for it all over again.
I thought it's pretty much the midway point, or at least it is for Burnley. And let's predict what's going to happen for the rest of the season. We're going to focus on the top 4, top 6 in the European places. So if you are wondering how I've done this, I've gone and found a Premier League prediction selector where I can type in the scores and stuff. Obviously, with some I've been a bit generous and some of them I've been a bit strict and a bit harsh on. Kicking us off in 10th place, I have actually gone with Crystal Palace. Not currently in the top 10, which does mean Brighton and Hove Albion will drop out. For me, I think Crystal Palace, they'll get a few results along the way. I think Patrick Vieira is starting to build something. Maybe that sort of new manager glow has started to disappear from Crystal Palace a little bit. But I think overall they will be okay. I think they'll get themselves a top half finish this season, just above Aston Villa. I personally think they're going to finish on around 49, 50 points in 10th place, and I think that's as many points as you'll need to get. I think there'll be a substantial gap as well between them. I think they'll be the top of the chasing pack, with the rest of the teams following up. 9th place for me, I think, again, I'm going to predict another team. Well, I guess project works as well. I'll predict or project another team to improve as well, and I'm going with Leicester. And this might not be a good time to pitch after their FA Cup catastrophe at the weekend. The holders obviously going out. But I think they're going to start and build themselves. Brendan Rodgers has been very vocal about his dismay at that performance at the weekend. I can see them doing better. I can see them pushing on, and I can see them finishing in 9th place. I think they'll just be chasing those European spots. I think they'll have given themselves too much to do, but I think they'll finish maybe 55, 54, maybe to 56 points. A few points ahead of 10th place, but just out of those spots. Moving on, in 8th place, I've gone with, and I hate to say it, I know there's going to be a lot of fans annoyed at me here, but I think it's going to be West Ham. And this isn't because I think there's going to be a slump in form particularly. I think they're going to focus on the Europa League, because at the moment, I think the Europa League would be the bigger achievement. They've almost pretty much nailed a European spot, whether that's conference or not. I personally think they're going to drop a few points, and the teams around them are just going to improve and push further forward. So I think they'll drop out in that sense, but don't be surprised if they get further on. I think they'll finish on 57 points, personally, and I think they'll have a good end to the season, but it won't be the greatest, and I think there will be a small drop-off in that form. 7th place, and I have gone with Arsenal. I think Arsenal have a real lack of depth, and I maybe didn't speak about this as well with West Ham United, but I think Arsenal and West Ham, I think they should have gone in for more players. These are two teams that are fighting for European places, and I think they should have been fighting for, you know, more players. As much as the likes of Emile Smith-Rowe, Bukayo Saka, these players are fantastic players, and the same for West Ham United. Specifically for Arsenal, I think they need extra depth in that striking position. Their main striker now is Lacazette. He's maybe a good backup striker, but I don't think he is the main man anymore. And as a result of that, I can see Arsenal dropping out of the European spots, unfortunately, because after the run they've been on, it has been really, really good. But I just think they've left themselves a little bit short. 6th place, I'm going to go with Wolves. I've been really, really impressed with this one this season. To be honest with you, this is more sort of like a hit and hope, if you will.
Have it.
I think Wolves will come away with the best defensive record. They're very, very close to Manchester City this season. I think they're going to be maybe a few points off that sort of top 5 battle which will be going on between Chelsea, Manchester United and Tottenham. I think they'll be a few points off, sort of 61 points. But I think they'll have a good season, and I think they'll be pleased with where they are. The criticism will be that they won't score enough goals, so I can see them dropping points later on in the season in big games, in terms of maybe when they play Newcastle and against the likes of Chelsea on the final day. They may also struggle because of the lack of goals that they score. Anyway, we move on to the top 5, and who's going to miss out on Champions League football? Will it be Manchester City? No, absolutely not. Will it be Liverpool? Yeah, not them either. It falls down to Chelsea, Tottenham and Manchester United. And who am I going to put in 5th place? I'm going to go with Manchester United. And that might be slightly controversial. I've put them on 68 points. 2 points behind the team above them. But I think Manchester United, I think they've got a lot of work to do. I think Ralf
That counts as a try.
Ralf Rangerick. There we are. I don't even know if I said that right. He's in for the short term, isn't he? He's in for this 6-month period. I think he's just going to try and get them as close as possible to those Champions League spots. I don't think he'll quite do it. Obviously, it's dependent as well on the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo starting scoring, Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, I think it's normal, you know.
We haven't seen the best out of him this season because the goals have been taken away from him. So in that sense, we've maybe not seen the best of Manchester United, but they do have the likes of Sancho, Rashford, and the reason why they feature a bit higher as well is that squad depth, that when these players come back and they get into form, they're going to be sensational. Moving on into 4th place, and this one might surprise you, and I keep saying that, and maybe I need to swallow a dictionary or something in order to help me come up with some new vocabulary, but it is Tottenham Hotspur.
Hotspur? No. What's that?
And I think Tottenham under Antonio Conte, the glimpse that I saw in the FA Cup this week, I think that is what has sold me a dream a little bit here. We've seen glimpses of Antonio Conte's magic at Spurs, the game against Leicester, the late comeback, and that 3-1 win against Brighton in the Cup. I think we've seen bits of it, and I think with the extra additions of Bentancur and bringing in Kulusevski, I think they are really, really important signings for them. I think in terms of the whole season, I think it'll be an okay season if they finish in the Champions League spots on 71 points. I could see these two swapping around. I could see Manchester United finishing 4th and Tottenham finishing 5th. But who knows? Who knows where this will go? It can literally, I think these two teams can swap around whatsoever. It really falls down to the final fixtures. Spurs also do have those games in hand already at the moment, which does see them 2 points behind with 2 games in hand. Tottenham are. So I think we can almost say, yes, points on the board are nice, but when you've got 2 games in hand and only need 2 points out of them, I think they'd be disappointed, especially when you look, I think they're against Burnley and teams like that are scrapping at the bottom of the division. I think Spurs will be confident that they can finish in 4th place on 71 points. Into 3rd place now, this will be no surprise, having named the other 10 teams that I've just named. It is Newcastle United.
This is great banter. It really is.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It is Chelsea. And I think Chelsea, I think they're maybe going to close the gap a little bit towards the end of the season. Maybe they can pick up points in some of the bigger games. Obviously, now I think they're pretty much out of that title challenge, bar a minor miracle. And Liverpool and United both beating Manchester City in their games, I think, or maybe even a Leicester as well if they've still got to play them. One of those teams that Man City seem to slip up on, one of those beating them. I think we can confirm that Chelsea are out of this title race. I don't think Liverpool are quite yet. 3rd place, I think, deserved. It's been up until about January, it was actually a really good season. And then January, end of December, January, we've just fallen apart. And the moment you've been waiting for, who is going to finish in 1st place? I've been speaking about them a lot actually already, but I'm going to go with Manchester City to finish in 1st place on 88 points. 88 points. Importantly, remember that, because Liverpool I'm going to put to finish on 84 points. So I do see Liverpool closing that gap and Manchester City dropping some points along the way to the finale. I think it'll be either in that United game where they get a draw, or in the game against Liverpool. Obviously, in the game against Liverpool, it doesn't really help if it's a draw, so it will be more likely to be the game against Manchester City. A draw against Liverpool would only really help Chelsea. It wouldn't help the two fighting for the top spot. But I do think it's going to go down to the wire. I think maybe, who knows, it could come down to the final day. I don't think so, though. I think there's 6 points. If you include, say, that Liverpool have won their game in hand, 6 points between them at the moment. It's a big gap to get back up against anyone, let alone Manchester City, who have the best squad depth on the planet. So I think it will be Manchester City. I think they'll sit on 88 points. I think maybe Liverpool could outscore them, to be honest with you. But those are my predictions for the end of the season. Do be sure to go down in the comments section and let us know, who do you think is going to finish in that top 4? Who do you think is going to win the league? And who is battling for the Conference League, the Europa Conference League, not the Conference League that Grimsby Town are in? And who do you think are battling for Europa League? I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, do be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. And most importantly, guys, do stay safe. Cheers. That was meant to be a 2-minute Tuesday. How did it end up that long? I don't understand.